Hey friends and book lovers, welcome. Welcome back. Last year, not only did I discover amazing books that I was so happy that I read and I had a really amazing book reading year, I also discovered some favorite authors that are going to pretty much become autobi authors for me because I love their writing and their work so much that it's inspired me to just really be on the lookout for the next things they have on hand. These authors might be books, some of them, definitely a few of them are books that were on my best books of 2021, and some of them are just authors that I really enjoyed and I can't wait to read the rest of their works. Maybe this book didn't make the top books of last year, but their writing and just their authorship in general definitely has, and I can't wait to read more of their works this year. On this list, there are only 4 authors, and when I say only, it's not that it's not enough, it's just that those are the 4 authors that stood out to me as new last year and as authors that I'm really excited about and that I really love. So I wanted to talk about them in this video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first author is definitely one that I talked about in my best books of 2021. That is Elizabeth Acevedo. I read 2 of her books last year. This one made my top books of 2021 and it is so beautiful. I read both of her books on audio, but I ended up getting 2 physical copies of them. I have one more book that she's released that I haven't read that I do plan on reading at some point this year because her audio is amazing, so of course I'm going to rent that as an audiobook and have that and enjoy it. I love how passionately she writes and I just can't wait for her to put out more poetry style books. I love just her regular storytelling as well, but the way she writes poetry, and because I know that she is like a poetry slam champion, she is just amazing. I feel everything that she's trying to get me to feel every time I listen to one of her audiobooks, and I love her for this, and no matter what she writes, I'll always read it. So she has definitely become an autobi author for me. I also read With the Fire on High, and that was such a good story. It was about a girl in high school discovering her little magic and love and passion for cooking, and though it was a younger age setting, it was so relatable even to an adult and to me, and it made me feel like I was in that character's shoes and I felt the emotions that that character felt as though I was there. And I think it's just the impactfulness of her audio narration and the way she tells her story and writes her story so passionately that really has a very deep impact on me. So she's an autobi author. I cannot wait to see what else she is releasing in the near future. You know I will be reading it and checking it out on my channel. Okay, so this next book was also on my best books of 2021, and it is an author that I didn't think I would really love this book, but she surprised me in the best way, and that is the Green One Saga, and that is actually Fonda Lee. And now I really love her writing. I really love the genius that is behind her storytelling because I didn't think that it would be this complex of a novel and this so well written. The way that she wrote grief really hit me in a personal way because I've experienced grief like that, and just the way she wrote it, I can tell that she's been through it, or at least I'm pretty sure she's been through it because she writes like she knows what she's writing, like she's writing from experience. And reading that in her book, I just felt like, not sorry for her, but I just was like, man, I know what you went through. I don't wish that for you. You know, I don't wish that you've gone through that grief because it is so painful. And for an author to make me feel like that, and also to be able to convey grief in such a relatable manner that what I was going through in my own personal life, it just really touched me. It's not always about the author making an emotional impact. She also made other impacts in this novel, like the way she just talks about politics and the way that it's really relatable to our world, and the way just xenophobia and hatred and all of these misunderstandings, they're all so relatable in our world as well. Just this series was so impactful. I know she has another short story coming out, which I'm going to see if I can still pre-order, and I can't wait to read that. I think it's going to be amazing, and I feel like she's going to take something that seems kind of simple and turn it into something really beautiful. I am going to miss these characters, and I know that Jade City is going to be one of those series that I reread, and I think anything else that she puts out, hopefully in series form, because she's just so good at series, I will definitely be picking up and devouring. This next one was not. I think it's the only author who didn't have a book in my top books of 2021, and I've only read one book from him, but I know because I love his writing style that I'm just gonna auto buy. I've bought every book he's released so far, even though I haven't read all of them, and that would be John Gwynne. Malice I have read, and I was on like a journey to read all of his other books. I really did enjoy Malice, but the thing that I loved most about it, I mean, obviously I love the story, but I love his writing. Just like his writing is just so compelling, and I wanted to read it because I was like, wow, he's so smooth, and I just couldn't get enough. I love this one. I think I give it a 5 stars. There were some issues with pacing, I think, in Malice, but overall it was really good, and I just hear that the series gets better and better. And I've gotten Shadow of the Gods by him, and I'm probably gonna pre-order Hunger of the Gods by him this year just to have that series, because I know I'm gonna love that series, and also covers for that series are gorgeous, and I love his style of covers. Also, I just love everything about his authorship. I love his writing style. I love the way he chooses his art style. I like the kind of stories that he writes. He's just become an auto-buy author for me, and I just can't get enough. I just need to read his books, and that is a goal for this year, as you will see in upcoming videos. So John Gwynne, he is here, and I love him. And this 4th and final author should come as no surprise to anyone who follows my channel, because I have read a few of his books this year, and that would be Brandon Sanderson. Now, I started off with Warbreaker, and I think I gave Warbreaker like a 4-star. It's a really compelling and really interesting book to read. I didn't think I would be as compelled to read this book as I was. I just didn't want to put it down, and even when I put it down, I was compelled to pick it back up. It wasn't this feeling of like I need to binge read it right now, but it was just this like compelling feeling of like I really want to read Warbreaker. Like I really want to read Brandon Sanderson. When I read The Final Empire and Wall of Ascension, I had this like I need to binge read those books feeling, but with this one it was just really compelling. I felt like the story was really like there was a wholesome quality to some of the characters, so it was a little less intense for me. Even with that quality, it was still a great read, and I really do love his writing style. I think what I love most about him is the ideas that he has in his head and this crazy interwoven world that he's creating in the Cosmere, and that makes me really excited because I finished Mistborn Era 1. I have a goal to start the Stormlight Archives this year, and I would also like to start and finish Mistborn Era 2 this year, since the 4th one is coming out, and see where we start off in Era 2 if it has anything to do with Era 1. And I've also read Warbreaker, I've read The 11th Metal, and I just kind of want to get through more of his backlist and see if I will like it. I'm a little hesitant about Era 2, but I still think that I'll enjoy it as just a regular kind of fantasy, but we will see. If you have any Brandon Sanderson advice, if you think that I will like or dislike Era 2, definitely let me know in the comments down below, because that is the one series that I'm really intrigued by and on the fence by with Brandon Sanderson. Stormlight Archives, I'm confident I will love, and I'm a little scared that I'll become obsessed with it, but that's okay. There's a lot of pages of Stormlight Archives to keep me occupied for a long time. Those are the 4 authors that I really fell in love with last year, that I discovered last year, and that I just can't wait to dive into more if I'm able to. Let me know in the comments down below if any of these authors are auto-buy authors for you, or if you discovered any other authors last year that have now become some of your favorites of all time, and auto-buy authors as well. And if you like my content, please don't hesitate to subscribe.